Alright, peace to the true ones. So, I was watching something the other day, and the motherfucker said, let me tell you, the motherfucker said there is a lesbian agenda to push the lesbians to take over the world. Well, he didn't say that part, but it's a lesbian agenda, okay? So, I'm about to get into I'm about to get into it all the way about the LGBTQIA community and their healing properties and the significance of them being in communities worldwide, because they are the healers because of the energy. I mean, everybody's a healer that holds this energy, but these individuals specifically are celebrated and sent into places to heal and fix the fucked upness of the places, and they are shunned and pushed away. That's the true agenda, to push the people who are in fact two-spirited or Mahu, to push them out the community, because nobody wants them to heal and fix the fucked upness of this world, because they hold the powers of the Great Mother and Great Father on purpose. I keep telling you, people think that God don't have favorites. God has favorites, okay, because of the work they put in and the sacrifice that they give and the loyalty that they have to the Great Mother and Father that has never diminished through all the times. They have stood firm 10 toes, so they have these gifts on purpose. They are given these gifts because of the love that they have in their heart. That's why they are the rainbow. That's why Hawaii is the house or the home of the rainbow, because of the two-spiritedness. And they are the promise from God to come and help heal the world. And they are shunned away. And this motherfucker that said this on this live stream the other night, on King Brujo's live stream, about spiritual predators, that's some spiritual predator shit, because you're not saying some shit like it's an agenda to push lesbians to the forefront. Now, that right there, Rod Hayes, is the agenda right there. You're not allowing the healing to happen by saying some bullshit like that. And I told you that these motherfuckers are grouped together. Now, wasn't he in the group with what's his name? These motherfuckers are so dead, I done forgot their names that quick. They only been dead for a month. What is it? Rashad Jamal, Isis Wisdom. These people are grouped together. I told you it's a gathering. Okay, all the false prophets are together. You see King Brujo trying to work with the motherfucker right now, and he hasn't done his due diligence on him, or at least spiritually look into this motherfucker to see why is he grouped with all these motherfuckers that's now falling, because they're all going to fall. They were all together for a reason. Okay, all the false prophets they're all wrapped together just like the true ones are wrapped together. I told you it was a separation that happened. I told you not these motherfuckers calling for unity now. No, we're being separated on purpose. The unity won't happen until this whole thing till 3D is completely destroyed. Unity will not happen between the righteous and the unrighteous. Okay, we are being pulled together and separated from them. Okay, they gonna be on their own bullshit. They think that they're gonna rule this earth when we are leaving this planet. I even heard Rod Hayes said that the ones that are leaving this planet are the ones that are in trouble or are headed for destruction or something to that fact, and that they're staying here. And it's the whole opposite. It's the whole other way around. And he said he was sent by the Great Mother, but he shuns lesbians. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, I told you they reveal themselves. Okay, the Great Mother didn't send you on no kind of missions when you have a distaste for the favorites of the Great Mother. All right. It says Mahu, or transgender individuals and transvestites, were in fact viewed by ancient Hawaiians. And this is crazy because we're getting into indigenous, and these people claim to be indigenous. Okay, we're going to get into the American indigenous as well, and how they celebrate the two-spirited individuals too, and how they are the healers. Okay, it says Mahu and transgender individuals and transvestites were in fact viewed by the ancient Hawaiians as a normal element of the old social culture and preceded missionary days and American and French military missions. I told you, so this is the military agenda. Okay, this is the agenda to get rid of them. When the American and French militaries came in, that's when the destruction of the true Holy Trinity, the missionaries come in and fuck up the foundation. They fuck up the way life is supposed to be. And these cultures, like the Hawaiian cultures and the American indigenous cultures, some of them have kept these traditions, especially the Hawaiians. They keep these traditions because they know where the balance is. A balanced individual has both the masculine and feminine principle in them, and they let these principles live throughout them. Instead of living in toxic masculinity and toxic femininity, they're not balanced, and they bash these individuals who can't come here to heal because they don't want the healing. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers don't want change. They don't even want to really go back to how things was, because they deep down inside they hate the great mother and father. This is just a spiritual awakening that's happening. People was riding trains and shit, okay, hopping on shit, super duper unbalanced, okay, not knowing what the fuck they talking about and what they're pushing, okay. It says right here, Mahu were particularly respected as teachers, usually of hula dance. Motherfuckers don't know nothing about hula. Let me tell you something, man. Hula pays homage to all the elements and all the ancestors, as well as the chants that come with it. It's a force in hula, and the force of source in hula, okay, in the hula dance as well as the chanting, okay. It says in pre-contact times, Mahu performed the roles of goddesses and hula dances that took place in temples. I tell you, the hula rocked the world. That's what's causing all these volcanoes to erupt. I've told you this years ago when I started doing my hula, when I found out who I was, okay, and when I found out another aspect of me and my power. That's why I spent so much time in Hawaii learning me with true indigenous kahunas and spiritual teachers, okay. It says Mahu were also valued as the keepers, which I keep telling you, the lesbians and the gays are the gatekeepers, are the spiritual gatekeepers. They got the knowledge within them, and they are here to give you stuff and teach you things, but y'all shun them. And that's the agenda. Don't listen to them. And meanwhile, you motherfuckers are focused on the wrong things. You focusing on people's lives and their choices instead of worried about you and your choices and judging them. Meanwhile, God judging you. Like, who are you to tell my sacred people who I sent out here with the healing stones to heal you motherfuckers and shun them and tell them they are the agenda? Yeah, the agenda of the LGBTQ community, the true ones, the true spirit, the true two-spirited ones, not the ones who are just in it because they're confused, because some of them are. People be going to be gay because they're hurt, okay? I'm not talking about them, and I'm not talking about the ones who are toxic in that community. I'm talking about the true ones in that community who are sent to help you, who have these healing powers within them, okay? It says, Mahu were also valued as the keepers of cultural traditions, such as passing down of genealogies, okay? The Mahus, what are the three genders in Hawaii? Kane, Wahine, and lastly, the Mahus. Okay, the Mahus embrace both feminine and masculine traits that are embodied in each and every one of us. God damn, y'all retarded. I told y'all homophobic people, y'all in trouble. Y'all don't think God, y'all think y'all on God's side and y'all enforcing God's rules because it's nasty being gay. But I'm telling you, y'all focus on the sexual part instead of the healing part, and y'all doing the same thing sexually. Okay? It's just people are doing it with their same sex, but y'all all fucking the same type of way. You know, until y'all start making love like me and my wife with your soul inside of your bodies, you're all fucking low vibrationally. I'm just saying, because there's a high vibrational way to have sex and create within you, okay? Some of them call this type of sex parthenogenesis and all this other kind. Yeah. There was nothing but lesbians in Lemuria before there were the physical manifestation of men, because those lesbians, like I told you, Some of the lesbians were in fact the masculine principle like me, because just because I was in a feminine vessel don't mean I was a man. That's where y'all get shit fucked up. Y'all spiritual babies going around here trying to teach people shit, and y'all don't know nothing, and y'all furthering the true agenda, which is to fuck shit up. Y'all talking about COINTELPRO and people, government sending people. Y'all don't realize y'all got all this nanotechnology in your body, and the government can control you, and you're just as simple. You're just as easy to be a government agent and not even consciously knowing that's what you're doing, just because you're regurgitating government information. Not only can they control you with their technology and make you do what they want you to do, but the information that you've been passed in your ignorance is what's fucking shit up too. And you think you're running around here being a crusader for the Great Mother, and you're not. You don't even let me keep going, man. Let me keep going. Okay. In Samoan, fa'afafine or fafa are men who are raised as females and identify with that gender. Okay. They mostly have relationships with heterosexual men and are generally not gay, but they are considered to y'all as gay because you don't know what the soul is. You don't know, like y'all focus on the physical vessel too much. Y'all focus on the physical too much and not enough into the spiritual. And other cultures know this. And y'all behind because of your indoctrination with religions. More specifically, Christianity. And the missionaries that came through and fucked up your foundations. You know? Not only did you leave your foundation at the fall in ancient times when y'all turned y'all back on the true Great Mother and Father and put all these false ones on the throne and even try to sit your own ass on it. And look what happened when y'all did that. Look what happened to the world when y'all turned y'all back on God and what God has put on your heart. You ignored it. That's why y'all hearts is broken. I'm not talking about all of y'all. I'm talking about the ones who do have a broken hearts who can't fix that shit. Y'all turned y'all back on love. And y'all adopted foreign policies and foreign ideologies and philosophies. Y'all backwards as fuck, and y'all think the homosexuals are backwards when they're coming closer in balance than y'all is, and y'all judging them, and they just want to love. They ain't did nothing to you, motherfuckers, but love the way that they love and be themselves. And y'all feel like they pushing it on everybody. They not pushing it on everybody when these children exist and they grow up. But y'all want to shun them and hide them and keep them from being their true selves, and wonder why people have emotional inintelligence or unintelligence, because they have been suppressed from being themselves. You know what I mean? Y'all suppress these children that they're born the way that they're born, whether you like it or not. No matter how much you try and fix it, they are the way that they are, and they're going to be how they are. No matter what they want to do with their body, they're going to be who they're going to be. And you're just suppressing that instead of nurturing them and trying to help them figure this shit out. Y'all want it to be y'all way. Y'all really think y'all got y'all here to dominate the whole world, and y'all not. Y'all here to find balance and to be one. And if the shit don't sound right to you because of your indoctrination, you shun that shit. You don't even want to look into it. Oh, it's easy to look into this shit. Look how easy it is to look this shit up. It says Mahu in Native American, Native Hawaiian and Tahitian cultures are third gender people with traditional spiritual and social roles within the culture. These are indigenous people that made their journey from Africa originally. And let's get into African, since y'all don't think Africans had that homosexual shit in them. Then I'm gonna come back to the Native American, and then I'm gonna go back into Hawaiian, because I want y'all to see the story that I came across the day before yesterday. Ain't it funny how shit just be working out the way that it's working out right now? How people was exposing themselves with their fucking mouths and they don't know what they talking about, and then they clicking up, and then you see who clicking up with who, and who had already been clicked up together. It's like all the frauds is coming together, and then like they broke up, they break up and then find other frauds because they're attracted to each other's energy. It's fraud energy. Stay away from that shit. Okay, historical evidence in many instances dispels the notion that the LGBT people, as well as alternative gender expressions and identities, are alien to African culture. It said it dispels historical evidence in many instances, dispels the notion that the LGBT people, as well as alternative gender expressions and identities, are alien to African culture. The pre-colonial, before the motherfuckers came in here and took your culture from you, before that, it says in pre-colonial Uganda, some priests in the kingdom of Bunyoro would wear women's attire, and in the Teso tribe, look these tribes up. Look them up. This is historical for all you motherfuckers that gay ain't African. You don't know your history. You don't know your culture. You don't know the great mother and great father. You're foreign to us. We don't know you. That's why y'all about to get destroyed in the blue flame. Y'all ignorant as fucking. Y'all don't want to change. Goodbye. Men who dressed as women were officially recognized as a third gender in Africa. You dumb motherfuckers. Similarly, in the Kikuyu and Meru tribes in Kenya, special religious leaders called Magawi dressed and wore their hair like women, and in some cases were even recognized as being married to other men. You don't want... Listen, hold on. What Erica say? They don't know their language. They don't know their God. They take what they're given, even when it seems odd. That's y'all motherfuckers. Y'all just go with it because a motherfucker came and told you that wasn't right because it was not right to them. And they taking away your powers by telling you bullshit. You know, so they're still perpetuating the spiritual predator bullshit by adopting these foreign concepts that destroys the foundation of who they are and where they came from. Motherfuckers don't know nothing about who they are. They just, oh my God, y'all. Just before you hop on somebody's train and listen to the things that they don't like and the things that they think are agendas. And you'll start to see their agenda. And then you go and research where their ideologies come from and why. And you'll bust them out every time. These motherfuckers is frauds all the way around. It says the Kamba tribe in traditional Kenya society allowed same-sex marriages between two women in order to encourage fertility. Hit it. Hit it on the head. Hit it on the head. Hit it on the head. Why? For the Kamba tribe, a son represented the past, present, and future. Without a son, a family's future and their ancestors would be spiritually erased. Where a woman was unable to produce a son for a family, she was allowed to marry another woman who would then act as a surrogate. But let me tell you something. This is some other shit that they put in there, because that's not why. It's because of the two-spiritedness. This is changing the history as well. So you got to go deeper into it. It's because two women can procreate together, and one woman can procreate by herself. And in these African tribes, that's what they was doing over there. It's whole African tribes that are nothing but women because of the way women were treated in Africa. Okay, and desecrated and cutting off the clitorises and shit. That's why Africa is sinking, because of what they allowed to happen there to the women and to their foundation and roots. You see how bad they treat homosexuals over there now when it was accepted spiritually? See, people become more physical and left the spiritual behind, and then what they do with the spiritual is they pimp it. That's why they all getting God's pimp hand right now. They getting smacked. Africa is sinking. I made plenty of videos on this, and I told y'all it was going to sink before it even started sinking. That Africa was going to sink because of the bullshit that they did over there to the mother. My wife is the great mother in true life. Tell me why when years ago when she went to Africa, because my wife, she travels a lot. She's traveled her whole life. Okay. She went to Africa, right? Tell me why she got robbed and choked out in Africa. And she the great mother. This was decades ago when she went. By men, African men. It says the son of the surrogate mother would then become the torchbearer and the original husband and wife's family spirit. That's the family spirit. That's what she became. It says debunking the idea that LGBTI people are un-African is another powerful tool to further LGBTI rights on the continent. It all boils down to education. I told you, these motherfuckers are not educated. Look at this. There's so many African tribes. Look at this tribe. The Lagangi tribe, or Langi, or Langi. I think it's Langi. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Langi tribe of northern Uganda. People who were born intersex or who were regarded as impotent would be labeled as a third gender known as a Mudoko Dako people were legally and socially allowed to marry a man or a woman and acquire either traditional male or female roles. I don't even have to read no more of this because it's getting too long. I told you I don't like to spend too much time on these people, and we didn't even talk about the Native American, which Rod Hayes claims to be indigenous to the land, right? And he's over there talking bad about basically two-spirited people, saying this is an agenda. Look what it says. The two-spirit is a term used within indigenous communities encompassing cultural, spiritual, sexual, and gender identity. The term reflects complex indigenous understandings of gender roles, spirituality, and the long history of sexual and gender diversity in indigenous cultures. But it's an agenda because these motherfuckers don't know who they is, man. They just putting on other masks. I'm telling you, all these masks gotta come off. All of them do. All you frauds. That's why y'all being lumped together. People gonna be able to point y'all out. Oh, there they go. Y'all doing yourself a disservice. Y'all talk too fucking much and y'all don't know shit, yo. And then you be flip-flopping messages and shit. Like, he be telling on himself he be flipping messages, yo. He flips them. The two-spirit is a modern pan-Indian umbrella term used by some indigenous North Americans to describe Native people in their communities who fulfill traditional third gender ceremonial and social role in their cultures. I don't even have to go no further. I don't even have to go no further. Y'all don't know y'all language. Y'all don't know y'all culture. Y'all don't know y'all God. If you're going to sit up here and be homophobic and say, oh, it's not homophobic, I just don't believe in it. But it's your roots, motherfucker. God damn. Let me go down here. Let me get in here real quick. Let's listen to this real quick and then we'll be done.
Time in U.S. history, a picture book has been published in both English and Olelo Ni'ihau, the only form of Hawaiian that has been continuously spoken since the overthrow of Hawaii's queen. Joining me this morning is two of the authors of the book, Hinale Moana, Wong Kalu, and Dean Hammer, the authors of Kapai Mahu. Good morning, both of you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Now, to start off, of course, I want to know about this legend of Kapai Mahu. I don't think everyone knows about it.
Well, this legend of Kapai Mahu started many, many centuries ago when four amazing healers traveled from Tahiti to Hawaii, and they taught the Hawaiian people how to cure disease. Part of what made them such good healers is that they were Mahu, people who have dual male and female mind and heart and spirit. When they completed all their healing, the people wanted a way to remember them, so they got four big boulders up in Kaimuki and they dragged them all the way down to Waikiki, and the healers transferred their powers into them using special Mahu
I see them rocks in real life. I used to live in Diamond Head near Waikiki, and I used to go to Waikiki all the time because I lived on Kauai and I lived on Oahu. Spirit had me go to Oahu, I think, just to be in that energy around those rocks, because I live right down the street and I lived on Diamond Head, but Waikiki is basically the same neighborhood. And I lived in Kaimuki. My bank branch, Bank of Hawaii, is in Kaimuki on Waialae Road. I live right there, and I used to pass those rocks every time I went to Waikiki Beach.
And then the healers disappeared.
Touch them.
But the rocks are still there. They're right next to the Duke statue on Kuhio Beach. Yet the story about them has been largely forgotten, especially the part about the healers being Mahu. And so that's why we thought we'd like to revive this story, because it's such an amazing and powerful Hawaiian tradition.
I know exactly where those rocks are, and as you mentioned, I've seen them there. I didn't really know what they were, but why was it so important to the two of you to make this story into a children's book?
Well, originally we actually made an animated film, and to our surprise, it made it all the way to the Oscars, really to the short list. But even more to our surprise is that when Kumukina showed it to some very young children, they just really loved the story. And even if they couldn't understand all the words, they got the idea of these mysterious rocks and these wonderful, magical mahu. So we thought it'd be really great to make a children's book, because it's sort of an interactive tool. Instead of just watching a movie, parents can read it to their kids and then they can talk about it. And so that's why we wanted to do it. Some people might think, oh, this is too much of an adult topic, but actually the experience is that kids are sometimes better than their parents at just accepting the fact that not everybody is different. You know, not everybody's the same. People are different all around.
Now, we got to see some of the footage of that short film that you mentioned. Absolutely beautiful artwork there. But this is the first U.S. publication picture book featuring both English and Olelo Ni'ihau. And can you tell us why it's important for both of these languages to be included? And then also, if we could highlight Olelo Ni'ihau, because even a lot of people who speak Hawaiian might not know exactly what Olelo Ni'ihau is.
Yes, mahalo. As one of the primary voices who is doing the storytelling, this story in its journey needed to reflect.
If y'all don't know, if you can't tell, is mahu, okay? If you didn't know.
And Olelo Ni'ihau is what I was gifted to cherish and to honor and to uplift, and it is the primary way that I'm able to tell the story. It is also the only last living line of our language that continues to have an actual community of native speakers. And so that, in combination with Hawaii and our language and our culture being my piko, Hawaii is my mainland. And so telling this story needed to reflect that perspective, and it needed to reflect that part of me.
Thank you for that. And the mahu were powerful beings. I mean, dual male and female spirit. What do you hope young readers take away from this? What do you hope they learn?
I hope that young viewers and young readers will understand that Hawaii is its own unique place with a distinct history and a distinct culture, and in the language of these islands, as is found in other areas of the Moana Nui, the Pacific, our understanding of who we are is different, and we have a place for people whom possess the duality of male and female in life.
And now let me tell you something. It's really not duality. It's really unity. When you possess these things and they come together, it's the unification of the Great Mother and Father. It is no longer duality, but this is also a programming in your mind thinking that you need duality. When that just splits you. You know, how everybody's spirits is all over the world and being used in different places, and it's time to call your power back to you to be one again instead of being dualistic all the time and everywhere, being split. The split hive mind, it's time to put your mind back together and come into unity, because y'all been in duality so long that you're used to it and you can't get out of it. And you make a place. Duality did nothing but make a place for evil. Okay, and now we're coming out of the Kali Yuga. Duality is leaving. We're no longer going to be in duality. We're going into unity. Actually, having the Great Mother and Great Father together is no longer duality. Okay, just being masculine or just being feminine, that's duality. That's being split. Now, being both together is unity.
And that's what made these healers wondrous and powerful healers. That's what gave them the ability to minister to all those who came beyond just the regular everyday Kane or Wahine. They were both. And so I hope that our young people would take that away and know that Hawaii and the Pacific is a place that reflects that.
Absolutely beautiful story. I can't wait to read the book myself and watch this film because, like I said, that artwork's beautiful. Thank you for joining us this.
That's basically it. I'm gonna get up out of here. It's something for y'all to marinate on for those of you who are homophobic and who come across this. I mean, it's pretty much too late for y'all. I don't see you motherfuckers coming out of your your homophobicness, okay? Yeah, it's too late for y'all, and I don't feel bad at all. No fear, no sorrow. Like I told y'all, we in that time. Motherfuckers talking about it's the time. It's the time of karma. That's damn sure right. And people don't realize I am karma. I'm here to serve it. Okay, and shit that I see, I'm gonna be knocking this shit down constantly until we up out of this motherfucker. Yo, y'all gotta come up out of this sickness that y'all in, thinking that things that these people have told you is wrong when it's disconnecting you from spirituality and understanding and love. On top of all of that, the most important part about it is love. No wonder this ancient secret, which really ain't a secret, is in Hawaii, because Hawaii is nothing but love. Aloha, that's what they operate on, which is starting to dwindle down there now because there's so many invaders and imposters up in Hawaii vamping off the energy, because the spiritual energy in Hawaii is strong, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Why everybody love going to Hawaii? Why is Hawaii one of the most beautiful places on earth? Why is it so peaceful there? Why in Hawaii you can let your kids go and run free and not worry about them? Only thing you got to do is make sure your kid knows how to swim in Hawaii. Granted, there are some people that are coming there now and kidnapping kids and putting them in sex trafficking. This is new to Hawaii. All the shooting and shit that's going on now is new to Hawaii. That's because we are in the last days. We are literally in the last seconds. We are literally in the apocalypse, living through it, watching it, and supposed to be learning lessons from it. Previously, before all this shit started happening, Hawaii is paradise. It truly is, yo. And it's fucked up what was going on over there. They're over there poisoning water and everything. Okay? The natives can't even live on their own land because it's so expensive. And people from out of town in different states and countries coming there, buying up all the land and turning shit into condos and hotels and resorts. And meanwhile, the local people, the people who've been in their whole life, they living on the beach. I lived in Hawaiian homelands. It's land that's given to Native Hawaiians to live on. I was lucky enough to go live in the Hawaiian homelands in Anahola, and that's where I started mentoring children at. They came up to me. I didn't even start the program. It's just all these kids just started coming to me because they needed somebody they could talk to that they could trust. Okay, the children there are special. They're different. Okay, people in Hawaii it's not like America or the rest of the world. It's different. They're precious people. And they live off of aloha, which is love, yo. So, I don't know. Just something for y'all to think about. It's just funny how Hawaii is that way. And this is their tradition. Peace to the true ones.